This is POUNDBALL, and in POUNDBALL there's 4 teams. Game is set up in a huge square. The beanbag should be next to the teams, not out in the middle. So each team should have, let's say, 2 per person down by their feet or something. The green ball is out in the middle, and you're supposed to throw behind your team's line at the beanbag and try to get the ball to cross any other team's line. And you're not allowed to use your hands or your body to touch the ball. If the ball does touch you, it's an automatic point for the other 3 teams. If the ball crosses your line, then it's an automatic point for the other 3 teams. This game the students are calling TENN-LAX because it's a combination of tennis and lacrosse. You start off by balancing the tennis ball on your tennis racket using 1 or 2 hands. Your hand can't be on the ball. Then you go to the lacrosse stick and you drop the ball down. You pick up the ball with the lacrosse stick. Once the ball's in the stick, then you cradle through the hoops, around the cones, and then you go back the same way you came. If you happen to knock down a hoop, then you have to stop and fix it before you can continue on. Once you're back to the beginning, then you're going to stop and you're going to give the next person the racket and the ball, and you're going to come down near the hoops and help your team stand the hoops back up in case anybody knocks them down. And then the last team to finish is when the game ends. This is the team throw relay. One team member starts with the hula hoop, and they have to be behind a certain line or point. The first person throws. If they miss, they have to go to the end of the line. They give the ball to the next person, and then they are going to throw. The person in the hula hoop can move anywhere as long as they're behind that certain line. And once the ball goes through the hoop, they join the person inside the hoop, but that person must have their back to the throwers. Makes it a little bit more difficult, so they got to talk to each other. So in this case, Ryan threw it, went off Jaden's head. It's just a yarn ball, so it doesn't hurt. And now he has to go to the end of the line. Next person throws. So Sophia says, all right, we got to move over, we got to move over. So they're talking to each other to get the ball to go through. So it's definitely a cooperative game. So she made it, goes in, and you just continue throwing until everybody is inside the hoop. Once everybody's inside the hoop, they got to move together back to where they were throwing, so they can only use their feet to move the ball back. And they're trying to get the ball back to where they started, where there's going to be like a bucket or a crate. And they got to work together to get the ball to go up inside the crate. And once they do, they are finished. And that's the end of the game. This game is the tri-skill relay. First off, they start by dribbling a soccer ball back and forth. Then they are going to be balancing a beanbag on their head, traveling back and forth. Then they are going to perform a bear crawl back and forth. And then that's the end of the game. This is the 4 challenge relay. So they have to run down with the baton, go back, give it to the next person in line. They go over and they roll the dice. Whatever number they get is how many times they have to jump rope. And they put the jump rope down, And then when they run through the cones, they're supposed to do it like in a zigzag pattern. But the grades K through 2 field day, they're just going to run straight down. So you just make a lane that they would run down without having to go zigzag. And then they're going to crab walk back to the end of their line. Once they go back in the end of the line, then the next person goes. So there's just one team doing it. You're about to see 4 teams doing it. Okay, so here's 4 teams going at the same time. They just did the baton part. Now they're going to roll the dice. If they don't know how to jump rope, they can just spin it next to their body, like the kid did with the blue shirt. Again, they're doing the zigzag, but you're going to see some of them are going to get slowed down, and some of them are missing the cones. I think it would be easier for K through 2 if they just ran straight down like a lane. And then they crab walk back to their line. And once they cross that line, and then the next person goes. This is the baseball strike. In this video, there's only one group going, but actually on field day there should be 4 to 6 groups. The first person hits the ball off the tee. They run after the ball. They pick it up wherever it lands, and they throw it from there. In here, they're trying to get it into that orange basketball that's painted on the floor. When they're playing this on field day, they're going to be throwing on grass, so the ball won't be rolling as far. And then that circle where that basketball is on field day will be a lot bigger. So you hit the ball, you run to it wherever it lands. You can't move your feet once you have the ball in your hand. And if it lands in that basketball, then you stop. And then the next person would go. So there'd be 5 baseball tees set up if there was 5 teams. And then they'd all be going. So basically there'd always be 5 people going. In the gym, the balls roll all over the floor, so they're kind of just... The way that they're playing inside the gym is when they hit the ball, they chase after it. Wherever they can pick it up, they throw it from there. And when they throw it, if it lands in the basketball like that, then he's just going to run over there, pick it up, and place it in there. The next person goes. This would be the last person on this team. And when she throws it, she's going to miss. So she was going to run over, and she's going to have to throw it from wherever she picks it up. It's got to land in the orange. Good, it went in. So now she's just going to pick it up, place it in, run back. And once she has a seat, then the team is done.